Right now, nobody truly knows what you've been carrying. You smile in front of people, but inside, you feel exhausted, mentally tired, emotionally overwhelmed, spiritually drained, because the battle you've been fighting has mostly been silent. You kept showing up, kept acting strong, kept pretending everything was okay, while privately, you were struggling with fear, stress, loneliness, overthinking. And moments where you almost gave up completely. There were nights you cried silently, days you felt numb, moments you questioned whether things would ever get better, because the pressure has been heavy, and the waiting has been long. But listen carefully. Jesus is saying, my child, your silent battle is about to end. Not because you handled everything perfectly, but because I have seen every tear you never explained to anyone else. I have seen the strength it took for you to continue moving forward while feeling broken inside. I have seen the prayers you whispered quietly at night, and I have not ignored them. Jesus says, my child. Just because heaven was silent does not mean heaven was absent. Because while you were struggling, I was sustaining you, protecting you from things you never even realized, keeping you alive during moments that could have destroyed your spirit completely. And now, the season is changing. The emotional heaviness will not last forever, the confusion will not last forever, the pressure will not last forever. Jesus is saying, my child. Relief is coming. Not just temporary relief, but deep restoration. Mental peace, emotional healing, spiritual strength, and clarity after confusion. You may not see everything changing yet, but trust this, the battle is already shifting, the breakthrough is already approaching, and the strength you gained through this painful season will become part of your testimony later. Jesus says, my child. One day you will realize, this battle did not destroy you, it transformed you. Because you are not the same person you were when this struggle first began. You are wiser now, stronger now, more aware now, more spiritually grounded now, and even though this season hurt deeply, it also awakened something powerful inside you, the ability to survive. The ability to heal, the ability to trust God, even when life felt uncertain. Jesus is saying, my child. Do not give up now, you are closer to peace than you realize. So stop believing the lie that nothing will ever change. Stop thinking your story ends in pain. Stop speaking hopelessness over your future, because your current struggle is not your final chapter. What is coming next will restore what stress tried to steal from you, your joy, your peace, your confidence, your hope. Jesus says, my child. Hold on a little longer, your breakthrough season is near. If you believe your silent battle is coming to an end, type Amen and keep trusting God through this season. Now, something begins shifting quietly inside you. Not everything around you has changed yet, but something within you feels different. Jesus is saying, my child. Before breakthrough appears externally, it begins internally. One of the first signs is this: you are becoming tired of negativity. Things that once consumed your mind no longer hold the same power over you. You no longer want constant drama, constant fear, constant emotional chaos. Instead, you crave peace, clarity, stability, and that shift matters deeply. Jesus says, my child. Your spirit is preparing for a healthier season. Another sign, you begin seeing situations more clearly. People's true intentions become easier to recognize. What once confused you now feels obvious, and because of that, you stop forcing connections that drain you. You stop chasing things that no longer align with your peace. You begin protecting your energy differently. Jesus is saying, my child. Discernment increases before elevation. Another sign, you feel emotionally exhausted by your old patterns, the habits, the cycles, the emotional wounds you kept revisiting, and now, something inside you wants change badly, not temporary change, real change, deep change, because your spirit is no longer comfortable living beneath the life God prepared for you. Jesus says, my child. Discomfort is often the first sign of transformation. You may also notice this: certain doors begin closing naturally, certain people begin fading away, certain distractions lose their hold over you, and even though endings can feel painful, part of you knows they are necessary, because what is ending can no longer follow you into your breakthrough season. Jesus is saying, my child, I am clearing your path. At this stage, you may still feel moments of fear, moments of uncertainty, moments where you wonder if things will truly get better, but don't let temporary emotions make permanent conclusions, because even now, progress is happening invisibly, healing is happening quietly, alignment is happening behind the scenes. Jesus says, my child, just because you cannot see movement does not mean I am not working. And soon, what felt delayed will begin moving quickly, the clarity you prayed for will arrive, the peace you begged for will settle into your spirit, and the battle that once consumed your mind will no longer control your life. Jesus is saying, my child, your breakthrough is closer than your fear wants you to believe. If you believe your breakthrough season is approaching, type Amen and continue trusting God through the process. Now, you begin noticing changes around you. Certain people feel distant, certain situations begin ending unexpectedly, things you once depended on no longer feel stable, and part of you wonders, why does everything seem to be falling apart right before my breakthrough? But listen carefully, Jesus is saying, my child, sometimes things must fall apart so better things can come together. Because not everything in your life can go where I am taking you. Some relationships were draining your spirit, some habits were keeping you emotionally stuck, some environments were limiting your growth, and if they remained, they would interfere with your breakthrough. Jesus says, my child, I remove what no longer aligns with your future. At first, this process feels painful, because loss often feels personal. You may think you are being abandoned, punished, forgotten, but the truth is, you are being redirected, protected, prepared. Jesus is saying, my child, I will not allow old attachments to destroy your next season. That is why certain doors close suddenly, that is why some people walk away unexpectedly, that is why some plans collapse, even after you worked hard for them, not because your life is ending, but because your life is changing direction, and breakthrough requires space for healthier relationships, healthier habits, healthier opportunities, healthier peace. Jesus says, my child, stop grieving things I removed for your protection. Because many times, what you called rejection was actually rescue, what you called delay was preparation, what you called loss was necessary separation, and one day, you will look back and understand why certain things could not stay. At this stage, you may feel lonely sometimes, emotionally tired sometimes, even confused about the future, but do not mistake transition for failure. You are not losing your life, you are outgrowing it. Jesus is saying, my child, trust the process of removal, your breakthrough depends on it. Because what is coming next requires a different mindset, a different environment, a different version of you, stronger, wiser, more aligned than ever before. So stop chasing what is leaving, stop forcing doors to reopen, stop trying to carry old pain into your new season, because your breakthrough needs room to enter your life fully. Jesus says, my child, release what is ending, I am preparing what is next. If you trust that God is removing what no longer belongs in your life, type Amen and let go with faith. Now, after all the waiting, after all the emotional battles, after all the silent prayers, something finally begins to shift clearly. The heaviness starts lifting, the confusion starts fading, and slowly, you begin seeing movement in areas that once felt completely stuck. Jesus is saying, my child, the breakthrough you prayed for is no longer distant. Because the season of surviving is turning into a season of restoration, the peace you begged for begins settling into your spirit naturally, the clarity you needed starts appearing at the right time, the strength you built during hard seasons now becomes visible in the way you live. Jesus says, "My child, this is why I told you not to give up. Because now you can finally see, nothing was wasted, not the tears, not the delays, not the heartbreak, not the lonely nights, every painful moment was shaping the stronger version of you that exists today, and because you survived those seasons, you are now emotionally prepared for what is coming next." Jesus is saying, "My child, your breakthrough required growth, not just blessings." At this stage, you begin noticing new opportunities. Healthier relationships, more peace in your mind, more confidence in yourself, and something else changes too. You stop doubting your future constantly, because now, you can finally feel hope returning. You begin trusting again, believing again, dreaming again. Jesus says, "My child, the battle was never meant to stay forever." And now, you are entering a season where things begin aligning naturally, doors open without force, people enter your life with genuine intentions, opportunities arrive at the right moment, and the peace you once searched for externally now lives inside you, because breakthrough is not only about external success, it is also about internal freedom. Freedom from fear, freedom from emotional exhaustion, freedom from constantly surviving. Jesus is saying, "My child, you are no longer in survival mode, you are stepping into restoration." So don't return to old mindsets now, don't reopen doors that drained your spirit, don't allow fear to talk you out of your new season, because what is happening in your life now is something you prayed for during your darkest moments, and this is only the beginning. Jesus says, "My child, your breakthrough season has begun." If you believe your breakthrough season is finally here, type Amen and walk forward with faith.